Hi, Ange. How are you looking for Sunday, team news-wise?
Look, I think obviously still early days. Wash up from last night. Fair to say, the boys are fairly tired. The ones who put in the shift. I think apart from Sonny, everyone's okay. And Sonny, I don't think he's too bad. So he wants to train tomorrow. So we'll obviously see how it goes at training tomorrow and make a decision from there.
Basically, speaking to him, obviously he was so good the other day in the presser. If he feels okay and ready to go, because there's so many games coming up, isn't there?
Yeah, true. Yeah, so but again, we've got sort of another day up our sleeve to give him every chance.
The club are expected to trigger an extra year on his contract. You always have the final say. Is that an easy decision for you?
Oh well, I don't always have a final say, but certainly I'd like to think my input is significant on it. But yeah, look, I think it's part of a broader discussion about Sonny. But the way he's performing, the way he's leading the club at the moment, I certainly want him to stick around for a while.
Speaking of leaders, Vicario joining the leadership group, took the armband last night. He's put on his Instagram how proud he is. Are you proud of him? Because there was a lot of criticism, not here, but outside about the goals he'd conceded. But he was great last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's been great since the day he arrived, mate. I think criticism's just part of the nature of football these days, and he's had a few under the spotlight. But I included him in the leadership group this year. I've just seen his growth, and again, he's one of these guys who's really positive, comes in every day, wanting to work, comes in on his days off wanting to work, and he's just a great example for everyone, and great human being as well, and thought he could add something to our leadership group. And it was great for him to sort of get the armband last night. And I thought he rose to the occasion. He was big for us. He hasn't had to make too many big saves in the first few games for us, but we needed him for a couple last night, and he was great. Thanks.
Right. Hello, afternoon. Archie Gray at such a young age has been able to slot into midfield and defence, had his first start this month. Where do you see him in his best position? Because we've seen him mainly as right back.
I see him in a Tottenham shirt and playing good football. I thought he was great last night. A different challenge for Archie, obviously. His first European game and having to sort of play 10 men for the whole game. We had to do a couple of different roles, but he's, as I've said from the outset, he's from the moment he's arrived, he's looked like a real sort of mature young man who really's got a great focus around the career he wants to have ahead of him. At the moment, he's had a couple of games at right back for us. Pre-season he played a few different positions, but what I do know is he'll be a significant contributor for us. He already has been, and I was really proud of him last night, the way he handled everything.
Another fantastic player that the Tottenham fans adore, Lucas Bergvall. Of course, he had to come off early because of the red last night. But when he plays, the confidence, the ability, winning his duels, progressing up the pitch, quite unusual for a player that young to be so confident when he gets his chance. Can we expect him again to be a strong contributor in this season? Because he's been excellent so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Lucas is another one who I think I said before the game, we're really keen to expose him to European football last night. Unfortunately, it ended prematurely for him, and he was, understandably, he was disappointed. But it doesn't take away from the fact that that's how much we trust him. That we wanted him to start last night, and he'll get plenty of opportunities to play. And again, he's another one who's come in as an 18-year-old and sort of not really let his age affect the fact that he wants to make a contribution to our football club straight away, and I'm sure he will.
You've spoken previously about the fact that, the project will be long in testing at points, but when the success comes, you'll see it will click. Games like last night, we talk about player confidence a lot and what wins do, but how does it feel as a manager for your morale when that attacking football, the ethos that you want to deliver on the pitch, you can see it, and the fans are in tune with that?
Yeah, don't stress about my morale. It's usually pretty good. I'm fairly optimistic about whatever sort of project I'm involved in. And look, it was good last night. It was a different way for us to, it was a different challenge for us. Obviously, not just going down to 10 men, but going down to 10 men so early. You're virtually playing 90 minutes with 10 men, and great to see the lads sort of try and persevere playing our football. At times, we weren't able to because obviously you're a man down, but we did what was required. And most important for us, I think, European football, your home ties are pretty crucial because every away game is tricky for one reason or another, and you really want to get off to a good start. So the fact that we got a win was important. Thank you.
Hi, Ange, how are you?
I'm good, mate.
I'm
I'm tired, mate. It was a late night. So I'm no good with late nights with you.
Depends how early I have to get up before I
Okay. Anyway, go on, mate. Sorry.
Man United on Sunday. A big game. It feels like the opposing manager is under a little bit of pressure going into this game. So how do you work that within your game plan?
Oh, I don't, mate. There's always some manager under pressure. I think it's just, there must be a sort of, what do they call it? One of those spinning boards with all our faces on it, and whatever it lands on, he's the one that cops it for a week or two. So, but I think Eric's in a real tough job. He's done really well. He keeps mentioning he's won 2 trophies, and he has, mate. So I don't think that's insignificant. Everyone keeps telling me that's all I have to do, but obviously it's not all you have to do, because when you do that, then there's more. There's always more. So I think he's done a great job, and like I said, a difficult job. And at Old Trafford, it's tough there. You look at their record, irrespective of the managers, it's still a fairly compelling record there, and they got some real quality players. So we had a really good game there last year. We ended up 2-2, and it was a cracking game, and one we're going to be ready for.
FC20 got a draw there on Wednesday, and off the back of that, a few United legends that are in the media come out and say Old Trafford is not as scary a place to go to anymore as it used to be. Is it?
I've never been scared by a venue, so I'm not really sure. I still think, I think what makes kind of venues unique is the atmosphere. And like I said, last year when we played there, I thought the atmosphere was brilliant. The supporters got behind their club, and obviously I'm not there all the time, so I can't tell if that's changed. But my experience there last year was that it's still a great atmosphere at Old Trafford. It's a great stadium in terms of the history and tradition behind it, and it's one of those games that I think players and everyone involved, managers, get excited about, and certainly we will be as well.
And since he deleted his social media account, Brennan Johnson can't stop scoring for you and playing well. Firstly, I know your views on social media. Firstly, do you think all footballers should delete their social media accounts? And secondly, has that had, even psychologically, some sort of influence on him over the last couple of weeks?
Look, I don't know. Look, if it's made sort of, Brennan, happier or sort of more comfortable. I think when you switch something off, it's probably because it makes you uncomfortable rather than sort of unhappy. It's just then that's great for him, but that's not the reason. I don't think. I think the reason is that he, as I said a couple of weeks ago, he just works awfully hard at his game, and if you work awfully hard at something and you're really passionate about it, eventually you get the rewards. The thing is not to let it sort of affect your work ethic and your focus, and it hasn't. Like I said, Brennan is in every day wanting to be better. He asks for feedback. He's continually working on his game. He really cares about the club. He cares about his teammates. He wants to be the best he can be. And I think when you have that attitude, eventually the rewards come. And he's at the moment he's getting the rewards, but I still think there's more to come. I think there's a lot more to come, and I say that because I know, even now he's looking to improve, looking to get better, and that's what you want to see in young players.
Okay, finish your section with George, please.
Hi, Ange. If Sonny is out on Sunday, who would sort of be your options to play on the left? And is it fair to assume Mikey Moore's not ready to start a Premier League game just yet?
No, I wouldn't say that. Look, if we'll see with Sonny, but obviously with Wilson out, we're kind of limited with and Richie out, because Richie can play there as well. We're kind of limited a little bit, but Timo and Mikey certainly come into the frame. We've got Decky Kulusevski who can play wide as well, so we've got some options there. So, but firstly, we'll just see how Sonny is, and we'll decide from there.
And how is Timo? Because he obviously had a difficult night at Coventry last week, but come on yesterday. I mean, is he the sort of player that is experienced enough to get through these difficult phases and can become a key player like he was last season?
Yeah, look, again, it's I think we've mentioned so far Vic apparently was getting criticism. Brennan it's Timo's turn. I mean, it's part of being a professional footballer. So I think, you're always going to get criticism. You're always going to get scrutiny. It's how you react to it. Like I said, for me, what I want is to see them coming in every day, working hard at their game. If they're getting criticism and or if they're not performing and, I see their attitude's not great, then that's when I intervene. Because I think there's only one way to change that. But as I said, Timo's, again, he's a professional. He comes in every day working hard and, I've got no doubt he can make an impact for us. But the best way to do that is, as I said, just to focus on his football and keep doing the right things.
And plenty of managers in your position would be sort of talking about how Man United have had 24 hours extra to prepare and you have a long trip. From your point of view, has that got to be blocked out and no one can be thinking about that going into this game?
Well, it's what you've got to deal with. Obviously it's not ideal that we had a late finish last night, that we had to play with 10 men for a long time. So it's in an ideal world, and you'd have things a lot differently. But the ideal worlds don't exist. Everyone has challenges, and our challenge is that we're going to have to recover really well. We've got some fresh guys as well. Pedro, Romero, Bentancur. Madison didn't even play last night. Decky half a game, Brennan half a game. So, we still have some freshness there that can help us.
Okay, well,
So he's played in every game this season so far, and that's kind of been where he's been after 7 or 8 years for Tottenham. If he's fit, plays. Given he's 32, and now you've got a European campaign, is that sustainable? That he can?
No, and I think I think unfortunately for us, not unfortunately, but I would have wanted to ease his sort of workload this early part of the year, but like I said, we lost Richie, then we lost Dominic, then we lost Wilson, and it's, again, invariably in football, sometimes it's not the amount of injuries, it's the kind of injuries you get. So he's played more than I think I certainly want him to, and the idea, I mean, like I said, signing Dom and bringing in Wilson and extending Timo's loan was that we could sort of give him manage his load, because he's got international football as well a little bit better, and it's something that I'm mindful of. It's just the circumstances so far, and Sonny always wants to play. I mean, that's his attitude, but we've got to be sensible about it. And I don't think it's got to do so much with his age, because I haven't seen that affect him. It's more, I just don't think that kind of workload in the modern game is sustainable. You need to, we've spoken a lot about fixture overload. Well, and I think I said last week that part of that responsibility, I guess, lies with us whilst the calendar is like this, to try and protect our players, and certainly with Sonny we're going to have to be mindful of that.
And like you say, he would be of the mindset to want to play in the game. So have you spoken with him about how together you can manage it rather than you just making decisions, or is it something you just do on your own?
Yeah, no, I tend to not make decisions by consensus. I think it gets a bit murky. No, I know what you're saying, but I think, when you've got a player like Sonny, I think, I've had experience with guys like that before. They're always just going to want to play, and do I want to dull that competitiveness by having a reasoned discussion over him, with a cup of tea and saying, Sonny, this is going to be great for you, great for me? No, I'd rather I leave him out and he's disappointed with me, because I think that's what you want in him, and sometimes it's like doing something for somebody's own good. I just think that's my decision, my responsibility. I've got to take that on board.
And is there, just finally on this, is there a challenge therefore for the rest of the team and the squad to cope without him, because he's such an influence, not just as a player but as the character as well, and the leader on the pitch? Is there a challenge there for you to cope without him?
Well, I think there's an opportunity there, yeah, because I think that's what you want to try and create. I mean, it's why we've got this leadership group, is to see, well, who can step up in that kind of scenario, because it will happen from time to time. And I think that was a pleasing thing last night, that sort of, when he went off, Vic took the armband and he almost seemed to relish that kind of responsibility to grow. And sometimes you don't see these things unless there's opportunity. So there's definitely an opportunity there for us to show that we can sort of still be the team we want to be, even though he may not be involved as much.
One more on Sonic, if I may. Would you ever feel like asking him to stop playing for South Korea?
Oh, mate, no chance. No, because I think, again, I understand how important it is for him. I mean, we can look at these things in sort of just the cold, harsh light of, his club football will benefit if he doesn't play for his country, but one day he won't be able to play for his country, and the last thing I'd want is for him to have regrets that he missed out an opportunity to play as much as he could and represent it. So, but I think all these decisions are better off being left to the player themselves, because they know themselves, how they're feeling about their career. It doesn't matter how long you play for. The lifespan of a professional footballer is still fairly short in terms of how long you live your life. So that time you have, you want to try and get as fulfilled as you possibly can. You're trying to create as much of a basket of memories as you can, because one day you won't have that opportunity. So I would never be the one to say to him, look, for selfish reasons, for us as a club, it'd be great if you didn't play for your country. I just wouldn't do it.
If you could clarify this, but with Sonny, you said he was tired. Is it a specific injury, or is it just tiredness?
No, he sort of felt fatigue sort of in his hamstring. That was the reason he went down. But, whether that's an injury or just fatigue, we just got to wait and see.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.